Welcome to another day in the Matrix. Waters above crypto. I'm sending you all love and high vibrations to start this weekend. We're getting a big green pill in this crypto market as expected with tomorrow's new moon. It's a beautiful thing to see how all this TA here lately has been playing out perfectly. And today I have some red pills to give out, sharing some interesting numbers and dates coming up soon. Also, my second podcast with Logan over at Decode Your Reality is now uploaded to his channel. So make sure to go over to his channel and spread some love. He's doing amazing decodes and unique work that can further complement what we're doing over here with Crypto Gematria. So definitely make sure to check out his channel, subscribe, and perhaps we'll do a round 3 very soon. So if you're new here, we do cryptocurrency technical analysis and combine it with Gematria, Numerology, and Astrology to understand these markets. Feel free to subscribe and turn on the bell notification to stay updated on when new videos come out. And make sure to give this video a like and share this channel with other conscious people to help grow this community. And for those of you who want to learn how to do technical analysis and combine it with Gematria, you can join my Mastermind course. My email's in the description to get in contact with me for access to the course. I've been getting tons of people lately emailing me who started at the beginning of this month, and they've just been so happy to be able to get into some trades, making money right off the bat. A lot of the TA that we've been going over here on this channel mixed with the Mastermind course has been helping people make a lot of money. So it's been great to be reading those emails and getting those messages on Patreon. Much love to all of you. And this is just the start. We still have 5 to 6 more months in this bull run. So it's all about getting educated in this sector before the bear market comes and the next big crash. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to prepare everyone for that big boom and just to be prepared, because at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters about being an investor is to be able to take profits on your investments. With that being said, let's take the red pill. So just a quick recap from the last video that I posted. We were discussing this W breakout target, and then the last video I was in, I showed you around right here this whole setup. So I drew the neckline, and then I drew this coming up, rejection, coming down to backtest the neckline, and then moving up. And you could see that right here in this video around 12 minutes. So if you just go watch my last video, you'll see where we drew out this neckline and showed you exactly how this would play out. So if I show you by removing this green little line here, what we did was we broke out above the neckline. We came and backtested the neckline perfectly, literally perfectly to the dollar. Then once we bounced and surpassed the previous high in the structure, which was right there, it was just a green candle and a continuation of a breakout. And now what we're getting rejected is actually a really key level, and this is totally fine. I mean, this market today, it's a Saturday, everything's overheating, and it's just kind of one of those days where we need to let things play out. Typically the day that's the most bullish could also become a big rejection at the same time. So you guys have been hearing my calmness and my TA lately, and how really it's just kind of something to be patient in. A lot of people, they want to get instant results in this market, but they haven't been a trader long enough. They haven't taken any losses in regards to their plays in the market. So they're so new that they just haven't even really gotten any skin in the game. And that's really why it's been important for me to focus on the bigger picture. So what happens in the day-to-day is pretty much irrelevant. I'm not considering what happens in a single day to be the solution or the outcome of the big picture. And I've told everyone this time and time again, I believe the bull run for Bitcoin will end in December, and then it will end for most of the altcoins into late December into January of 2022. Of course, there could be isolated coins that go on to February, but for the most part, these all move when Bitcoin moves. When Bitcoin moves, everything else follows suit. And that includes Ethereum, XRP, and all of your favorite altcoins. So this is something to pay attention to, because that's why I'm starting out every video with this Bitcoin analysis. That's why in my Mastermind course, I focus on Bitcoin primarily with my the delivery of understanding the TA, because that's really all that matters. Once you can master the Bitcoin chart, you can master cryptocurrency. It's very simple. And we've been combining the moon cycles, where the new moon gives us our bullish energy, and you could see the new moon actually will be tomorrow. And I have it marked off right there, new moon. We've actually hit a nice top at 44,500, 44,600. Could this be it until the new moon clears? Sure, it could be. At the end of the day, we need to be patient and let all this stuff play out. It's going to be impossible to call tops. It's going to be impossible to be precise in this 100%. But at the end of the day, we've been doing pretty well over here, just showing you these small little patterns and how they've been coming to life every day. Now, I had an important thing to share with everyone in regards to the Satoshi white paper. And this is something that I talked about in my live stream yesterday. So the Satoshi white paper, you can see right here on October 31st, Nakamoto published a white paper on the cryptography mailing list at metsdowd.com, described a digital cryptocurrency titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Now, this was the Bitcoin white paper, the Satoshi white paper that launched every other crypto moving forward. So with that being said, if you take this date of October 31st, which was Halloween or All Hallows Eve or Samhain, if you take this date from 2008 and you type it into a date calculator and you compare it to today, it's actually 666 weeks since the release of the white paper. So yesterday was the exact 666. Now, what's interesting that I'm thinking about and kind of my way of decoding this and looking to the immediate short term is the date of August 11th. Now, the reason I'm thinking about the August 11th date is because if I type that in and I include the last day and I calculate it, you're going to see we get to 666 weeks and 6 days, okay? So this is it's a powerful number, okay? And one of the things that I've thought about too with this date of 8/11 is tomorrow is the 8/8 date numerology, August 8th. That's an 88. It's a strong number. August 11th could also be perceived as 88 because 8 times 11 equals 88 as well. So if we're just taking the month and day, these dates will probably create an energetic window of time, and this will affect the crypto market. Now, it could be extremely volatile. At the end of the day, we've been talking about this new moon in August and a relief rally in the month of August for a while now. So whatever happens, happens. But at the end of the day, we're getting the outcome that we've been expecting, and that's great. Now, I'm just sort of using the code to figure out everything else that's going on. But bringing up this Satoshi white paper release that happened in 2008 and how we are 666 weeks and 6 days away from it on this exact date is pretty wild, because the 8/8 day being the new moon followed by this date of 8/11 with the 88, it's crazy to think about how all these numbers come together. So anyways, the 8 is the infinity symbol, and these two 8s together are like two Taurus fields. And perhaps on the 12th of August, we leave the new moon bullish energy towards the full moon bearish energy. And August 12th is interesting to me too, because if you type in 8/12/2021 before reduction, you get 16. Now that 16 is important because it ties back to Shiva in the Chaldean cipher. Shiva is the destroyer and rebuilder of worlds. So August 12th will be 666 weeks away and 6 days since the creation of the Satoshi white paper, if you don't include the end date. And I think that's another thing to consider, just the window of time. You could see it right there, the 6666. And these 4 6s added up equal 24. You've been hearing the 24 a lot in my work if you've been around here for a while. But also another way of perceiving the 4 6s is 46. And where we get 46 is the 46 chromosomes. So think about this stuff. It's quite deep. So again, it would be 4.6 thousand days. It's just interesting how all these numbers come together the way that they do. But why I'm thinking about these dates and the Satoshi white paper is because the following day of August 13th will be a Friday the 13th. And Friday the 13ths are powerful. If we go back to last year and Bitcoin in March, it was Friday the 13th that we got that most bearish day. It was also the day that Bill Gates stepped down from Microsoft to continue his journey into death jabs. So anyways, with that being said, this is a very interesting phenomenon. This Friday the 13th will be the last Friday the 13th until May of 2022. And another important thing about this Friday the 13th is it'll be the exact 50th anniversary of the Nixon shock meeting before the Nixon shock. So on August 15th of 1971, we had what was called the Nixon shock, where Nixon came on live television and he removed gold backing from the dollar, or having dollars be redeemable for gold. Now, with that being said, the 13th was a meeting that he had with his committee, his group of lizards, and they determined what they were going to do on the 15th. So that was also in 1971 on August 13th. That was a Friday the 13th. So not only is it the 50th anniversary, but it's to the exact date. So we have August 11th possibly being the microcycle top. In my opinion, that would make a lot of sense because it's 666 days and 6 weeks. And then followed by the 12th, which also gives you that 6666 if you don't consider the end date. And that 16 numerology in August 12th, coming back to Shiva. You could see Shiva gives us the 16, and 8/12/2021 gives us that 16, that destroyer, leading into the Friday the 13th, which obviously has unlucky connotations. So I'm just super interested in how next week's going to go. I think that all these numbers are fascinating, and it's perhaps giving us a lot of information to see what could happen next. So with that being said, though, from a technical perspective, we actually did fulfill this W. I'll show you right here by just taking the measured move up and bringing it up to the neckline, and you could see that we actually did break it, and now we've come above it and back. We actually just back tested it live during this video. Now, in order to complete it as a back test, we would need to see this eventually break the current price. Now, why that could be problematic is a couple things, but let's just focus on what's most important right now, which is that we are above the 382 fib. So I'm sorry if this looks a little messy. Let me just show you right here. You see the 382 fib? We are actually above that right now, and we got a daily close yesterday above it. That's very bullish. But let's pull up some of our moving averages, and you can see this 200 simple moving average. We haven't even back tested yet, but I've been talking about that as the first big level where I do suspect we either need to push through it really hard with a lot of volume, or we're going to get rejected on it, have to go through a couple days of the new moon, and then maybe even not get above this level until after the full moon passes. So take what I just said, like imagine we come up to this and then get rejected and then pull down into the full moon like that, and then recover into the end of the month. That would actually be completely normal because we've seen that happen before, where August overall finishes as a really solid month. It's just these small little moments that we're living day to day that we keep up with. But in actuality, you close your eyes, you wait a month, and it's all figured out. And that's kind of what I do. I look at the charts going back to 2013 and the 2017 cycles, and I've studied those for weeks. Like if I took the amount of hours and compiled it together, it would be equivocal of weeks of study on those independent bull runs to be able to tell you guys what I tell you with confidence. It's because I've been studying those markets. And with Bitcoin, it's really nice because if you go ahead and study the Amazon charts from before Bitcoin was even tradable, you'll see the patterns in Amazon as well. So I have some more videos coming out for Patreon and discussing the previous Amazon price actions, the bull runs that Amazon has had in some of the tech stocks, and I think that'll be a really interesting thing to add on to our to just make more sense of why I believe the bull run will end in December for Bitcoin. So anyways, let's take this from a perspective of a bull flag, which I brought up in one of my previous videos as well. I'm going to take it from the candle body close right here to the candle body close right here. And then I'm going to bring this half staff, which means if I remove this arrow, I'm going to show you this with precision, okay? You see that dip right there, the lowest dip we got? I'm going to pull the flagpole right to there. And then I'm going to see where that measured move is, which you can click this and then get it on the right, $49,777. Now that's conservative. This is the most conservative it gets. I did from the candle body closure on the lows, not the wicks. And then I brought the flagpole to the absolute low wick. This means that it gives you a lower price target. I'm doing that intentionally, okay? Now, if we were to follow this like to a T, we're most likely going to get up to that 618. That 618 is important because if Bitcoin gets there and then rejects, it's probably going to lead some liquidity into the altcoins, and then the altcoins will start fulfilling a bull trap. So just keep that in mind, okay? Now, I said very clearly that the top we just hit now, today, could be the top for now until we get through the full moon and then push up again, okay? Be very careful, like, by, seeing what's going on here. I also brought up that I wouldn't be surprised if on August 11th, we actually hit the top. Now, that would also make sense, even if we dip down a little bit, and then on the 11th, double topped and came down. That double top creates an M pattern. The M pattern is the reverse of a W pattern. It's bearish, and that bearish pattern could bring us right back down, and then still we could fulfill it like this to the full moon, and then come back up and then recover into the end of the month with new highs. We could still do all of that. So these are all the scenarios that I'm sharing with you guys. And this is like gold. This information is really important because it shows you from a technical analysis side of things. I'm giving you multiple probabilities. It's not just about one outcome. Okay. So just because we have this bull flag measured move going up to 49,000, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen. Okay. This is a very volatile asset, and these bull flags and inverse head and shoulders and falling wedges, pattern trading is what gets a lot of people to fail in this market. You notice I don't love to like draw symmetrical triangles and inverse head. I don't do that because that shit only works in Forex. It doesn't work too well in crypto. And the best opportunity you'll have for that kind of stuff is for doing it on Bitcoin, because on the altcoins, I've seen every bullish pattern in the world break bearish in altcoins. So pattern traders out there, please stop that shit. Learn how to do Wyckoff method and learn how to do proper technical analysis. Drawing lines on a chart doesn't do anything for you. You need to look at multiple factors in order to make sense of what's going on. So if we just take things for what it is, I think we're in a time right now of the heaviest manipulation possible for a crypto, because we're heading towards Shemitah, and at the same time we are in the most overvalued prices in this sector that we've ever had, besides a couple months ago. So when things are at highs, that's when it becomes higher risk. We should have made our entries into this market when it was boring and sideways last year, right? That would what would be a technical analyst's like favorite time to be accumulating. Now we're in a position where it's a little higher risk. So when we're at higher risk, you need to focus on de-risking whenever we get bullish energy. Even if everyone and their mother on YouTube is saying, oh, Bitcoin's going to $100,000 and XRP is going to $20. Don't care about what those people are saying, because at the end of the day, your bank account and your money in this market is all that really matters. So take those words as words of wisdom and apply them accordingly, because at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters is how you're playing this market, not how I'm playing this market, right? So anyways, before we move on to the XRP analysis, go ahead, give this a like. I appreciate any of you if you've stuck around this far. It's pretty amazing to see Bitcoin go from being up so much to now losing some of its value in the middle of the day. I like stuff like that. It shows you the volatility's there. It shows you the sell wall was there from the whales, and they made the retail FOMO, and that's great. That's typically how it needs to work. People should not be making entries into tops. They should have been making their entries into the patterns that made the most sense and when RSI was oversold. So let's just look at this from a perspective of a bull flag as well. We're going to pull it the same way conservatively from the candle body close up to the candle body open, and then pull it right there at the lowest wick. This is conservative. This is half staff. You get 92 cents. Okay. So let's just entertain 92 cents as our level target that we want to consider. and put it right there just for fun. And that would be our bull flag measured move. Now, do I feel like we'll fulfill that? Again, it all depends on what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin wants to go sideways right now and just hold the $42,000 level, it could give a lot of juice to the alts, and the alts could do really well. We just have to see how it plays out. The fact that Bitcoin almost hit the 200 simple moving average and got rejected, that's a sign to me that like this was classic weekend manipulation, and I probably expect CME opening tomorrow night and bringing this market back a little bit before continuation into the 11th or 12th of August. So this is our measured move, and let's look at some of our moving averages. So you can see right here, we actually were trading above the 200 simple. That is really nice to see. Bitcoin hasn't even traded above the 200 simple. So that's showing you that there's some strength here in the XRP chart. The 200 EMA looks like it's finally going to flip as a support. It was a resistance. You could see for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about a week and a half straight, it was a resistance. And then finally last night, it flipped bullish, broke out of that green moving average, the 200 exponential moving average. And now what I would like to see actually is this yellow moving average, the 8 simple, flip above the 200 exponential, and that would look very nice along with closures above the 200 simple. That would be indicative of bullish continuation for XRP. Let me turn these off and turn on some Bollinger Bands and see what else we got. All right, so that's, yeah, that makes sense too. We look at around 83 cents, and then obviously the 236 fib at 85 cents would be the area of resistance. So it could do something like this where like we just trade around it for a little bit, kind of something like that. It's kind of the way it goes, and then fulfill that bull flag a little bit later. And what else can we say? Oh, let's look at the RSI. That would be probably pretty important. All right, it's sort of getting up there, but let's remember on XRP, we can see RSI at 90 easily, and I've seen XRP go above 90. So right now we're only sitting at a level of 67. We have so much room to go in this. And remember, it always just kind of blasts off when no one's expecting. That's kind of the way it goes. And then it gets harshly rejected. So I would anticipate we're probably just counting down the days till we see something like that happen. And I believe we have shared information in the past that's gotten pretty close to helping people out and figuring out the code a little better. I'll give one example. So we have 8-9 is interesting. That's this coming Monday. That's the 22. Now 8-9, the 9th of August, that 22 number is really important because it does come back to XRP. You could see that in the full reduction, 22. Now, another thing that's interesting is this date of August 9th actually starts the 32nd week of the year, and that 32 comes back to Ripple, and it also comes back to Leo. And Leo in the 32nd week, we're still in the Leo zodiac. So again, this Leo with the 15 ties back to XRP with the 15. They're a direct match. And of course, we have those 22s, which is the start of the 32nd week. Also, we have that 23 reversed, as above, so below. I'm really interested in this next week for XRP. I do believe that it's going to make a move. Now, the volatility of it is very dramatic. It's like XRP is like a teenager. It just like gets mad at its mom and then leaves the house at night while you're sleeping, and you're like, what the fuck? And it's like a 20% candle to the upside. That's the kind of stuff that happens with XRP. So just for anyone who's holding XRP and looking to de-risk, this is one of those coins that you absolutely need to set take profit levels on. You absolutely, because it wicks up, gets rejected, heavy rejections come back down, and it's so fast and so sharp and so dramatic that typically you don't have enough time to manually do it. So anyways, words of wisdom there for those people out there that are looking to trade. So anyways, all in all, whatever happens in regards to this bullish continuation, I've been calling an automatic rally in Wyckoff. What that means is whatever we do that moves to the upside, I do think it will be rejected, okay? And this is called an automatic rally in Wyckoff method. And I love using Wyckoff method as my main form of analysis. So I do not believe that these altcoins are going to be making new all-time highs to probably November. Now, between now and then, we have about 5 to 6 months of bull run left, and September new moon might be the most bullish price action we get for these alts all the way until November, even as late as late November into December. And the reason that I'm saying that is because it is normal for a bull run to end where Bitcoin regains dominance, starts heading up to 60 or 70% dominance as it reaches its all-time high. Then after it gets rejected off of its all-time high, it will flood the liquidity into the altcoins. You'll see Bitcoin dominance flip, and then we'll have an alt season. So if what I just said was super confusing, please rewind the last 10 seconds, play that back 1,000 times till that's ingrained in your mind, because that's how bull runs typically end. We will have Bitcoin steal the show for probably the whole month of October and most of November. Just like last year, if you look at what was going on in November, that's pretty much it. I know XRP is a wild card because of its price action, but that's pretty much how the alt season went that we just saw. And I would suggest anyone get total market cap 2 and total market cap, and that could help you guys out in being able to determine what's going on here. But all in all, I think this video has gone on pretty long. There's been lots of nuggets of information. Take all this stuff with, along with your own investment thesis, and just weigh out what would be best for you to do over the next couple months. Again, I only am sharing what I'm sharing because I'm an analyst of the market, meaning I've looked at the charts going back to previous bull runs. I do understand that this time could be different, but ultimately Bitcoin seems to be repeating its cycles time and time again. That's why I was able to determine a relief rally into the month of August. And I believe that we're just going to see everything that happened in the 2013 bull run come back to life again in this current bull run, because that seems to be the bull run that we're mimicking to a T. So anyways, enjoy the rest of your day in the Matrix. Much love.